You're just in time. Saved you a seat for The Pillars of Man, your number one podcast for the best conversations you could find aimed at male self improvement. And to self improve as a man essentially means you are joining a war. Yes, you are joining forces in a battle greater than you, me, really the entire human race combined. This war or this battle that I'm talking about is the entities of good versus evil. And I know how dramatic of a uh, painting that is to depict self improvement in your life. But it's so much more than just creating the best life for yourself. And discussing self improvement with others, I've come across a myriad of opinions that actually they would argue self improvement kind of it can be very selfish and it can be very narcissistic in this way because I mean it starts with the self. All the work is funneling back to the self. This is all about you. I mean, before you ever found me, okay, before you ever laid eyes on me, before you could even conceive a thought to contemplate self improvement, the very origin of wanting to be better in life is most often associated with because I want something out. I want to get something out of becoming better, right? These are your desires and these are your hopes and dreams and these are your goals and your outcomes. There's nothing wrong with that, especially when you took the time to make sure you living your best life is not going to hurt yourself and you're not hurting anybody else. Then, I mean, by all means, is that not the ideal of a free world and a free country for people to enjoy their own autonomy and agency to become their own best versions? The only problem, as we ever slowly go a little bit deeper into this now, is I realize, well, what is that personal definition then? Who is to say exactly what the most correct, the most right, the most moral, best type of life really is? There has to be some boundaries here. There's got to be some lines drawn so we could all understand, as unique and as varied as our own individual experiences through our own realities, trying to make it, trying to be successful, trying to live your best life, never crosses these lines of things that should never happen, of things that can never be done, of behaviors, of acts. I mean, just general evil, that good versus evil in the wickedness and the lawlessness, the chaos of when everything that anyone would want to do simply because they consider it living their best life is allowed. And that's where things get, as this is a common theme among humanity. I believe for as long as human beings will be around, it's a really messy situation. Even in the macro, well, obviously in the macro, but you bring it down to the micro, and that's just you in your own life. It's equally messy. I mean, maybe it's even a little bit messier because all of your attention and your focus is always zeroed in on what you're trying to do every single day to live your best life. That's a lot. That's a long to-do list. There's all sorts of micro decisions and choices that are demanding you to enact them, right? Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. Good day, good life, bad life of, whether you are actively engaged or these these things that you really need to do. Like, it's about time. You gotta give this stuff a shot. You gotta make the attempt. You gotta put yourself in the action. And when action becomes actions, I mean, well, there you have your journey and your process. The absence of it is to know, is to see, acknowledge all of this, and still say to yourself, I'm good. I'm all set. I don't want to. Now, what if I told you not wanting to has a much greater consequence than just your own life? This is, I mean, tonight is more exploratory than anything else. I wasn't even really able to fully flesh out like what is gonna happen when I go on air tonight. But if you're down for it, brother, you, me, okay, we're gonna find out together. Because this prevailing theme of good versus evil, the more you engage with self-improvement, or how about just for tonight's episode, the more you would think about it to yourself, the more you may see what I'm seeing. And that is this titanic, divine, primordial war between what we as human beings collectively, like planet Earth, what most of us, the majority, I guess, is, for me to kind of help myself right there. Most people, okay, I'll specify one more time, in the 21st century. So, we'll use present and modern times. What most people would deem as good. This is good stuff. Freedom, rights, purity, innocence, justice, righteousness, kindness, altruism, community, camaraderie, brotherhood and sisterhood, the nuclear family unit. Can I think of anything else? Art. Oh, of course, art, entertainment, comedy, the different elements of theater and art and entertainment, being tragedy, drama, action, and all of that. All of these things, all the business, the commerce, the food, the free market. I mean, it really just keeps going. Things that all of us, we see this as these are good things. These are great things. We can do way better. We should evolve these things. We should try and progress these aspects of everyday, present day life. Now you have on the opposing end of this, right, the polar opposite of what most of us deem as good. And I mean, this would be the bad. This would be the evil. Evil is, I mean, kind of speaks for itself. But do you want to get really specific? I mean, then this is, being rude, right? This is being mean. This is bullying. This is murder. This is theft. This is lying, cheating, manipulating. This is, I don't know, just tyranny. Yes, that would be genocide. This would be oppression. This would be all sorts of starvation. This poverty. I mean, homelessness, and the lawlessness of it, the depravity. I mean, just where most would deem, yeah, no, this stuff, you want to stay away from this stuff. You want to try and rid the world of these things. You would try and ideally, in the face of them, say no, all right, eradicate, stay away, destroy. Okay? Like oil and water, just not compatible, the good and the bad. And they are always in this constant struggle, vying for dominance over one another, as good hates evil and evil hates good. I started with the macro. Okay, the best of my ability. I kind of drew out, just in a very general sense. Okay, All right, you have this side of like good stuff and this side of bad stuff, in my humble opinion, See, it's so subjective in this way too, because you could, in your reality, in your mind, possibly, I mean, I hope not, but it's possible these two things could be completely flipped. Everything I listed as good, you would deem bad, and everything I listed as bad, you would deem good. What I'm saying is self improvement in life is you are essentially joining one of these sides. And the reason for that, I believe, is because if you and I are to live in a world where the bad is minimized and the good is maximized, how does that actually happen? I do not believe that they will sort themselves out. Hey, not to say that they don't, possible, but this is just my own personal take, right? Really one long Kumo take tonight, because I believe that there are very intentional actions that have to be taken. People have to make certain choices for one of these forces to, okay, subdue the other. Uh, Arguably, our entire planet, just the whole world, Earth itself, is functioning on billions and billions of individual perspectives. Mob rule or the majority rule in this way. But nonetheless, when you have enough people who are going to back a certain kind of movement, ideal, concept, way of life, then, whether for good or bad, the only way to stop that from happening is you would need an equal or greater force to meet them head on, collision, confrontation, however peaceful, however violent. There's just no going around this. So that's what I mean. If you like, you look around in your own world and you see good winning or you see evil winning, or just things are like really wise, like hold this all this freaking evil every single day, what the heck? Or wow, this is very nice. I would love for this to remain the same. Would love for things to stay like this as they are, because things are actually like, this is really wonderful. That difference is, its contrast is so stark in when it's threaded through the way you are living every single day. When I bring this back into, I'm gonna have to ground everything I said in the nature of male self-improvement now. That's these are, and we're in the 21st century, so these are just like bros. You know what I'm saying, dude? You, me, all our fellow kings, making that conscious decision, waking up every single day and thinking like, okay, yeah, I got today, still alive, maybe more, most of us, many, way more than they're willing to admit, right, are waking up kind of like, dang it, oh, I'm here again, and that's awful. But if that's how a man feels, that's how he feels. And so there's the first choice right there. There's the very first decision of self-improvement, but also, okay, the reoccurring theme for tonight: how will you participate in this struggle of good versus evil, when it begins with, how will I live today? What am I going to do here? How am I going to play this? Okay, I don't even want to be here, but okay, fine. I woke up. Okay, can't sleep anymore. Slept too long. Right? I can't do the bed rot thing. Nope. All right, I gotta, all right. And I've been there too. Like when you're super super depressed, or when I'm going through. For me, it comes and goes. All right, it used to be constant, but then a lot of work had to be done to get myself to the point where I got to have normal days again, and I'm so grateful for that. But on some days when it's really bad, then it's like, how did I sleep for 12, 13 hours? This is crazy. And so that's what I mean. You're brought to the point, even if you don't want to be, you are brought to the point where I cannot lie here anymore. Okay. So I have my life to work with. Okay. Call it what you want. I would love to hear how you would describe your own life, but whether we'll simplify real quick. Whether that's the best or the worst. Oh, this is the bee's knees. This is the most fantastic life I could ever think or want to live for myself. And on the opposing end, I have the worst life of all current human beings that are alive and breathing right now at this very second. That is a that's a really exaggerating statement, but I mean, I feel it though. Whew. Whether that's true or not, for a man to say that to himself, oh, I totally feel it for sure. But nonetheless, you still have that choice to make. Do I try and be better? Right? I mean, it sounds quite lofty, but to really actually pull it off in life, you are going to have to engage with a certain set of actions, tasks, and activities to do that. To actually enact it. Just within the time frame of those 24 hours that as and I don't know you, bro, but I'm not gonna, like, I understand, and I mean it when I say that. If you deem it as a curse, I couldn't. That's just me. That's my opinion. But even though I don't know you, I will always say, all right, let that be this is one of the many things you'll find here at the Pillars of Man podcast. I will always say to you, you got woken up. However you believe you were woken up. I believe God wakes me up every single day. Maybe you believe it's just your biological functions. No more sleep. Okay, enough. That's a blessing. That is a blessing right there. Whether it truly manifests, that word's so tough. Whenever I use that word, I get a lot of like backlash. I get like some, like within my circle, people who know me are just like, bro, why you use the word manifest? How about develop? Okay, okay, a tiny bit more practical right there. And whether your day actually develops as a blessing or a curse. Now, if you're with me on this, all of that rides on the decision that you're going to make, whether you're going to try and make it a good day or a bad day. Okay, I'm going to freeze it right there. It's just like hold the entire conversation just right here before I move on. A good or a bad day. What does that even mean? I mean, I guess you'd have to specifically ask the individual experiencing their own version of a good or a bad day. But my argument is that a series of these, okay, so a week, 2 weeks, 3 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, decade, multiple decades, a lifetime of repeated good days, what would that lead to ultimately? See, this is what I mean. It would lead to you, okay, whether you know it or not, you are contending for the side that is good. And that might be a bit of a reach for me. And a reach as in, does that really work like that, Kumo? Just because you say it does, like, does that actually link up and make sense? Well, I believe it does, because this overarching theme, entity, way of life, governing force of our universe, you join the side of good. Because, as I mentioned earlier, when the clash of good and evil, and then the inevitable result of which side will win that particular clash, whether good or bad comes out on top, that has to be born out of very intentional actions of all said participants in that fight. Brother, you're trying to be a good man, live a good life, and be your best version. Now I just want you to see, just right here, what you're really doing, what you're really fighting for. Because if you're with me on that, oh, evil bad, evil must lose. Defeat evil, beat evil, okay? Like shame evil, okay? Like evil is not welcome here. Get out of here, evil. Okay? Close the door. Let them be outside. No, okay? You ain't never getting in here. If you with me on that. Now, how does that actually happen? Good men must do that. That'll never happen by itself. I don't think it's possible. I know. Oh, it's possible. It's possible. I'm gonna say it regardless, but maybe this just flashed before your eyes, and you're thinking to yourself, brother. Oh, so this is Kumo's elaborate, discussion of how does evil persist. But it's not. Like that is kind of that's very general though. That where I don't even know where it comes from. I should probably look that up before I go on here yapping about this stuff. But here I am. So it goes right, something like this. And correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. But how does evil persist when good men do nothing? Of course, women are included here in this one as well. Before I get any kind of criticism, where it's like, "Oh, okay, women can't like fight for good." Yeah, yes, of course they can, but this is a male self-improvement podcast, so evil persists when good men do nothing. Oh, okay, fine. You want to take us out of it? Okay, can like just remove the gender war real quick. Then, evil persists when good does nothing. Look at your life now. We can bring it way way back down from this lofty celestial eternal war between good and evil. No, just use your own life. And if there's anything wrong with it, then you will. I know that's very bold because that's such a absolute statement right there, but I'm saying you will trace this back to there is an action happening that shouldn't be happening, or is there or there is an action that needs to happen that isn't happening. That's like 99.99. That's what it comes back down to. Okay? Because if you're not happy with your life in any way, shape, or form, like really anything. Oh, I'm single. Like, oh man, I'm ready. I'm ready to be in a relationship. Okay. I want that honey draped under my arm. Okay. Like, resting on my chest. Like, let's go. That's dope. I love that depiction right there. That that freeze frame of a man and a woman in love. That's dope. And you're trying to go for that in life. Okay. Okay, you are unhappy with your financial situation, sick of eating like stuff like this, sick of living in a place like this, sick of just, barely getting by, sick of not being able to like go places and do stuff that I want to do and I can't freaking do it because it's so freaking expensive nowadays. Okay, that's very real. My health is terrible. Health is so poor. Okay, feel so tired. Feel so like kind of like ghouly, sickly, like I want to look like Chad. Okay. There's no shame there. I know it sounds kind of funny. It's like look like Chad. No, how about look like the best you? But the best you, I would say, is Chad. That's your version of Chad, brother. To really like take yourself seriously. The skincare routine, the circadian rhythm, great sleep, at the time that you should be sleeping, just in terms of human biology. Okay, nutrition, the diet, the health, and and of course, it, bro, the gym, lifting, gains. You put that all together. Oh yeah, you're gonna look your best. F everybody, said, like, oh, okay, fine, yeah, I did everything Kumo said that night, and I do look pretty Chadly myself. Like this is me at my most Chad, but I don't look like that Chad, brother. I would say F that Chad. I would say be your own, bro. See, so now right? This pattern, okay, I am intentionally poking at for throughout all of these pursuits, right? These endeavors that men should take, any guy should take seriously if he wants to take seriously his own best life. He's gonna have to. You have to. But where does it all lead? Just a better version of you. A better version of you towards the side that I would say is good. Because this is how you become stronger. This is how you elevate yourself. One of the best things ever said to me is when a great man is elevated, he will elevate others around him to also become great men. It's infectious. It doesn't. It won't like unless you're freaking Scrooge, bro. Okay, like you really do your thing. You get your bag and then you run away, and just like you know what I'm saying. Like I bought the mansion. I own the mansion. Okay, fine, maybe some property taxes or whatnot, but like this is mine, so I'm gonna just live here. Okay, windows, curtains closed, door locked. Y'all freaking deal with the rest of the planet. Leave me alone. I made my bag. I did my thing. I'm good now. I mean, if you want to do that, then do that, bro. I mean, I'm not even judging it. Power to you. But if you don't do that, then maybe you might meet some people that you're going to care about. You might want to give back. You might want to help in the way that you got the help. Right? It's like, oh, someone who is lost, someone who is what are the most common societal labels for men who don't take themselves seriously, who refuse to do anything for anyone, give anything of themselves. It's like, oh man, like this dude that was lost, a bum, a dud, a degenerate, degen, loser, dropout, right? Whatever. That wage slave, like that one's, oh man, that one's gross. That one's disgusting. Okay, like really to just real quick. Sometimes I like when it comes up, I gotta I gotta unload this real quick in front of you, and it's like to berate somebody for surviving. That's crazy. That's crazy because you have to survive in order to do anything greater. In order to do anything greater. From that situation, okay, to like expand beyond surviving, you must first survive, and then for somebody to come along and be like, look at you, surviving with minimum wage, and like oh, L, what a loser, and it's like just awful people, huh? Oh, isn't that so funny? The presence of evil, right there. How is that silenced? How is that pushed back? How is that retorted and rebutted? It would be, again, by an individual human being, for this episode tonight, a man that would say, I don't care. That doesn't matter. Say whatever you want. You're entitled to that. But I'm still going to do what I need to do, which is survive. And I'm surviving with, I don't know, some sort of minimum wage job right now in order to buy myself what little time I get back every single week to do what I need to do. To really go for the gold. Try and achieve the dreams that I created in my own head. Okay? To really try to chase that in life. That's awesome. That's awesome. That puts you on the side of all men who are trying to do the same. It is men that would do this, that would live like this. Because you have to get better if you are going to help anyone else. Let alone, this, like imagine that just walking outside your house one day and you open the front door and then you just witness like just this massive battle, okay, happening in front of you, right? Just like just, I don't even know. Okay. Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, as far as your eyes can see. This is some kind of crazy conflict. It's like, did the apocalypse, or is this end times? Did Revelation begin when I was passed out last night? And you step outside and you see all of this, and like when you're a man who has never really done anything for himself, you've never really like invested in yourself. You never took the time to really get healthy, to try to get better, try to self-improve. You've never really done that. Then you're kind of helpless in this way. You are an innocent bystander. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but that's not how evil is crushed. That's not how the good guys win and the bad guys lose. There has to be this, this force. It must be active. It must be strong. It must be able to defend the ideals of what make good good. And so to do that in life, that begins at the individual level. Because you can't tell me where you're gonna end up, brother. You don't know. No one knows. So when you choose that for yourself, to live like that in life, I'm really gonna try. I want to try and get strong. I want to try and get smart, get wise. Of course, it's like, oh yeah, let me just let me just let me just like obtain intelligence and knowledge. No, you're most likely going to want to pinpoint a specific skill, craft, endeavor, hobby to pour that passion into, right? All the dedication and effort and whatnot. But I mean, pick one thing. Still got to do it. Still got to go for it, right? Like, oh, I'm going to be the best chef, right? The best mechanic, best speaker, best content creator, best comedian, best dancer, best skateboarder. I'm really firing off right now, just like whatever the heck I am thinking of immediately, because it can be anything. It really can be anything. We're living in incredible times right now in this way. You find something that you deem so valuable, you can't get enough of it. It is your obsession. Then you can find a way to creatively transmute. Okay, maybe that's a is alchemize. All right. I'm getting a little out of pocket right now. You can find a way to transfer that value onto the internet, onto these platforms, get them in front of eyes and ears of other people, to get them to care as well. And before you know it, you could quite possibly make a living off of it. That was never really a thing, a few decades ago. It's crazy. It's quite the blessing. I'm in it. I'm in it every single day. I'm still kind of a rookie, for all this stuff. I was only able to recently really begin taking these things seriously in my life, right? And that brings me intense amounts of pain, but I fend it all off, that kind of suffering for me personally, with the gratefulness that I made it. At least I had to drag, I had to yank, and I had so much help to make it to this point where I am here and I am doing it. So for me, in my own way, I'm fighting the good fight, bro. I just want you to as well. And when you do, the more you do it, the more you will see. This I promise you. The more you will see, it's much bigger than you. It's far greater than you. And so now I believe this is the connection between the micro and the macro. This is a ladder, so to speak, and it goes all the way up to Father, because he is the I don't believe there is a higher entity than the Almighty. Yes, God Himself. To be ultra specific, the Christian God. That's the end point. The point of the scale in which you can, it's unexceedable. All right, you just can't go past that. It's not possible, right? Because you, at that point, in the presence of Father, you have reached the highest amount of good. That's it. You know, why? Why does it stop there? Because I believe that this is where all good comes from. You are witnessing the origin source. Without Dad, it's my nickname for God. Without Dad, there is nothing else. But that's a very Christian. That's a very biblical take. And if I were to set aside Christianity, which is not actually possible, but I mean, you might know what I mean. And even if you don't, it's okay. I'm setting it aside because whether or not you want to mention God or not, this is very interesting to me. Whether you want to mention the presence of this universal, omnipotent, omniscient. Uh, there's one more. There's omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. I think God, being, just living in this way, just trying in life, still puts you into the, like, even if you don't want to be, you have to be. You become a part of the grand, the ultimate fray of, I want to say, life and humanity itself, because it's a constant tug of war. It's everywhere and it's in everything. If you want to do better, you want to try and be a better man in this world, my question to you is, what are you going to have to do in your own life? It's like maybe all of us collectively as bros, it's like, yeah, we all got to lift, and we all got to try to make tons of money, and we all got to try and be virtuous, and we all got to try and be, strong, strong as in protect the weak, defend the innocent, defend those who cannot defend themselves. Once again, everything I just said right there. So, like, oh, the innocent are safe. Okay. Oh, the weak are defended. Oh, the defenseless all have bodyguards. Okay, or, like, I don't know, their own personal secret service or whatnot. Like, that's just not a thing. That will never happen by itself. You will always need men to answer that call. You're always gonna need guys like us. You're always gonna, like, good dudes, like good guys. And if you're okay, and then if you're looking at me right now, like, this guy's just talking on a podcast. He's trying to get subscribers. Okay, he's trying to get views and likes. He doesn't know me. Like, I don't consider myself as one of your bros, Kumo. Okay, okay, that's fine. I'm hurt a little bit, because I consider you mine. But all right, that's fine. All right, this is like a one-sided kind of thing right now. All right, so it's all good, brother. We don't have to rush it. But you are still headed into the direction of being shoulder to shoulder with me, even if you don't want to be, even if you don't look at it like that. It's like, too bad, bro. Because for all men, okay, to self-improve, that's what unites us in this way. We all get put in this forward direction towards what is good. Why? Because you're looking for the good. You are. Why are you looking for the good? I'm gonna keep. I always try to keep breaking it down. To the point where I can't anymore, or at least it's like, for you, it's like, okay, that is sufficient. But it's like, okay, why does it not? Why are you looking for the good? Because you're experiencing something bad. Something is happening in your life where it's just like, this is awful. No one should live like this. You might be thinking that, no one should have to go through the abuse and trauma I went through as a kid. No one should have to eat like this to not starve. No one should have to live in these conditions. No one should ever experience the bullying in the way that I was bullied, for the way that I look, for the way that I was born looking, for whatever, my height, you know what I'm saying? Like my acne, like, I don't know, superficial vanity metrics, you know, like, anyone knows, God knows, you and I know, since we were kids, human beings are so evil. It's not even funny, and I'm not, oh, let's freeze it again right here. Oh, please, come on. Don't you dare take that as, look at Kumo pointing from his high horse. First of all, I have no horse. Second of all, when you're pointing, you got 3 fingers pointing back at yourself. Is that how that goes? Okay, because that's absolutely what I'm doing right here. I am so evil. I am so evil, bro. You are too. We all are, because we have the capability to be. That capacity exists within all of us. For anyone, I believe, for anyone to say, yeah, Kumo's talking about himself and you all, not me, I'd be very wary of that person. No, for real. I'd be like, you want to be careful around people like that are going to, like, truly believe and also actively defend that their poop does not smell, that they are truly, you know, intrinsically, inherently, like, all good. No, absolutely not. I don't believe that's possible either. Because if it were possible for a human being to be truly all good or truly all evil, choice would not exist. I don't even know if that makes sense. That might not work. But no, we're running with it tonight. Okay, it's just, again, tonight is, this happens once in a while. This happens once in a while when I get really tired, and I'm just like, good lord, this is tough. It's tough to be like, okay, bro, I got you. Just do this, do, and you're gonna have a great life. Like, that's most of my content, but like tonight is kind of just like, and I was also challenged, and I was like, I got really offended, so here I am. Yeah, it's like both those things, right? Yeah, that goes to show you how much I love my coach, and you have both those pathways in you. Every single day you're faced with this choice, bro. Every single day. Can Kumo stop saying bro after every? Probably not. Which one are you going to make? Which one are you going to make? All right. I'll end on this now. Okay. All right. To further, one more time, to further press this into you. When you go the other way, what happens? I know. Clearly, you can see which side I want to be on. Okay, you clearly see, which side my pom poms are waving for. Okay, fair enough. But that is because I'm a man that has seen the depths of myself when I go the opposite way. When I go the other way, the way I should have never, the way no one should ever, the way that leads to absolute destruction and damnation of the self and of everyone else involved. It's pure evil. How does that happen? I know I'm being very dramatic right now, but entertain me. Would that be possible for a man waking up every single day, and when he has the opportunity in front of him that was always meant for him to pick up and use, because it waits for him every single day that he opens his eyes? I can't deny that when I wake up on a day off, I could. I can't ignore the fact that when I get home from work, as tired as I am, it's not that I have to do anything freaking crazy. Maybe you should. Maybe you should, like, right, try to, get kind of crazy. But I want to be realistic. And you're so gassed, in the words of my Zoomer Kings, you're so exhausted from the events of your day that you have about 2-3 solid hours of like, oh, like I get to do whatever I want before I have to freaking go to sleep so I can do it all over again the next day. That can't be denied. Every single day. These choices and these decisions, they're forks in the road. That's what they are. Okay? Because they will only ever divide two paths, good, evil. When the way that is good is not treaded. See, that's my question to you. What would you have left? And then I'm gonna try to fast forward real quick. I want to, there's a lot you could say right there, but I want to leap to the very end and say this. Then you would have a man who wakes up and he's waking up to a reality that he can't stand. I hate my life. I hate myself. I hate everyone. I hate everything. Okay? I hate seeing happy couples. I hate seeing muscular, healthy guys. I hate seeing guys with tons of money. I hate. How does that happen? I know. I don't mean to be heartless. I don't mean to be disrespectful. I'm not, my heart really does go out to all the guys in which their lives are really they're unfolding every single day like this. And I mean it when I say that. But after a certain point, in order to get them out of that situation, who is to do that though? Do you know what I mean? I can't do it. I can barely do it for myself, brother. But that's the point. That's the point I'm actually trying to make. Will you do it? Are you going to don the cape and just, okay, I got you, bro? You bring it back to reality. Like, how does life really work? It's him. It's the man that is suffering. That's the one. That's the guy. To make a difference. To change everything. He can. Of course he can. And I say, of course he can. It's like, you don't even know him. I know, but I'm saying, of course he can. Because he has the choice. He has the choice if he wakes up tomorrow. And that's it. Oh, there's way more. There's way, way, way more. But that's it for me tonight. It's my little, this is, I want the Pillars of Man podcast to be a part philosophy show. So, we get a little woo-woo here from time to time. And brother, I'll see you on the front lines. Straight up. Okay? Don't let me catch you. Don't let me catch you on the side of evil. No, bro. Stop. Get yo. But you don't even want to be with those guys. I promise you don't. Okay? You're like, oh, look at me. I'm so cool. I'm so evil. No. You want to kick it with the side that you belong. As on the side that is good, that is all the men who would try. That is all the men who would take a stand for themselves, and then eventually for all those that they're able to when they are so elevated. The beauty. The absolute, the very regal beauty of self-improvement. And you like listening about stuff like this. Yeah, because that's what I do. I talk about anything and everything that goes into, all this kind of self-improvement stuff. Then, by all means, you check me out. As you're watching The Pillars of Man, your number one podcast for the best conversations you could find, aimed at male self-improvement surrounding philosophy, masculinity, wellness, lifestyle. I'm your host, Kumo, and you're hosted by yours truly. Oh, good Lord. My name is Kumo and I'm the host. And I hope to see you real soon for the next one. You like content like this, hit that subscribe button for me and give me a like as well. But Take it easy. Till the next one. Take good care of yourself. I love you so much. Peace.